Okay, so I am going to be talking about building and sustaining an OER library repository. First, I respectively acknowledge that I live, work, and learn on the traditional lands of the neutral Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Wendat people. This acknowledgement is a small step to challenge colonialism and honor the enduring presence, achievements, and contributions of First Nation, Inuit, and Métis people. So just a general overview of the basics of what I'm talking about. Who we are, we're the University of Library Instructional Design Team. We're a team of instructional designers specific to the library. We've created a unique repository housing library created content. Discussion started in 2018 and development ran through 2019 to 2020. Why? Got a fever and the only prescription is more effective online learning strategies. How? Strength of mental fortitude. So in 2018, the University of Waterloo launched a strategic plan aimed at enhancing adaptable and accessible online learning. The library knew they needed to up their game about their teaching and learning content, so they hired a learning, teaching, and instructional design librarian, who's Dr. Carrie Weaver. She conducted a needs assessment to discover that the library needed open and accessible online learning, resources that were created for and by the library, support for EDIA, which is equity, diversity, inclusion, and accessibility. And we specifically needed adherence to accessibility standards and customized resources for both general and course-specific learning. So Dr. Weaver, Carrie had an idea, let's create a learning repository. The universities have repositories like DSpace to highlight university-affiliated research and scholarship. Why can't the library? In a library repository could be open for users at any time and anywhere, easily embeddable files, and support different formats, have accessibility compliance, and have Creative Commons license for all contributors. The development started in 2019, as I said, and it was primarily a collaboration between the library's digital initiatives and instructional design teams. The digital initiatives teams handled the tech stuff, which like coding, the metadata, and general site maintenance. The instructional design team handled the more learning-y stuff, like building the accessible modules, infographics, and that sort. We also use liaison librarians and other library staff as subject matter experts to write content. My cat says hi. Her name is Mayhem. The platform that they have decided to use is a customized Drupal 8 open source platform. They use metadata to improve discoverability in the rankings and search engines, and the metadata is the DCLRMI metadata, that's metadata specific for learning resources. And we have embedded Google Analytics to track views and locations of users and that sort of thing. I don't know much more. I don't know much else beyond this, so don't ask me many more questions about that, please. So the beta launch was intended for December 2020. This would be after almost 2 years of development. There were a tremendous amount of hurdles to go through. There's a strong reluctance to change, but it was going forward. And then March 2020 happened and chaos. And there was an immediate need for emergency remote teaching support. The launch was pushed to June 2020 with 25 learning objects. By September 2020, they had over 100 learning objects. And within 2 years, we've seen a 400% growth in e-learning objects within our library. So I've been talking about this. We have our online learning object repository, which we call the OER. And I'm going to try to switch screen so I can share that with you. Hold on, let me find it. Which screen I'm on. All this stuff is in the way and I can't get to it. Are we, is this okay? Can we see this?
Yes.
Good, thank you. Okay, so this is the online learning object repository. We call it the OER, and we think it's pretty cool. It has 4 main sections: a homepage, a browse, about, and help. We mainly use the home and the browse pages. Home basically introduces you to what this resource is, and it also has recently added materials. The browse section has all the stuff. And you can see our lists. You can narrow resource by type, by audience, and by subject. The subject terms are created by our team. And there are many terms, so that does need to be narrowed down. You can also search by keyword or in metadata. And the keywords are, again, created by us, the ID team. So the repository is the big thing, and then also the little things are the learning objects. In 2023, we developed a continuous cycle with the instructional design team and the liaison librarians at the university. This means that every term we get together and we brainstorm different topics so we can work together to write and develop new learning objects. And the topics are discovered through open discussion, frequently asked reference questions, requests from faculty, or other unique needs, like how using a microfilm machine. Once a topic is selected, 2 to 4 subject matter experts work on it to write the content. On the right-hand side, you can see the instructional design project charter. And this, everyone in the group has access to this, as well as and it's controlled by the instructional design team. And it provides clarity on purpose, the scope, audience, and timelines. It clarifies expectations and creates accountability for all members of the team. So here's a resource that was recently updated. So last year so some of the original modules that were created in 2020, 2021 were not up to the current standards because of the rapid development due to the pandemic. So last year, every module or every element in the repository underwent an audit for accessibility and updated content, images, language, imagery, and more. Some modules, however, needed a complete overhaul. One example is the critical appraisals of sources of engineering. It was actually a module developed from an in-person Faculty of Arts material, and then transitioned to a science course. There were lots of issues, mainly accessibility, like poor alt text and no heading hierarchy. There were pedagogical issues, like no organization and few assessments. It was mainly just like a meh module for such a huge audience. I'm sure 2 of the embedded resources, these are the interactivities. This is a comparison of academic and popular information seen in a tabbed interactivity. And the other one is...
You have 30 minutes, 30 seconds.
Okay, sorry. So, and then this is in accordion for radar. The new module is all accessible. It has interactive elements. These are not interactive at the moment because they're screenshots, but you can see that they're more colorful and interactive. The maintenance, we go through an accessibility checklist. You can see on the right-hand side, everything is maintained by the ID department. We own the objects, the learning objects, after they are published, so we can maintain them effectively. So we recognize that this is a living resource. And we have to have intentional maintenance. Change is never easy, and we have continued challenges with the resource that we need to keep up with trends, advocating for our learner needs as well as our team's needs. And we also have issues bringing awareness to our resources across campus, but these are all things that we're trying to deal with. And we are very proud of our repository, and we're passionate about education and providing this resource to our campus.